Our old refrigerator failed at the beginning of a 3-month-long bucket list trip that we had over the summer. Now, our new refrigerator is here. The question at this point is, can we trust it this time? This is RV Life with Kim Hanna, where big rigs and second chances actually go together. You know, our refrigerator was under warranty and Lippert has been absolutely fantastic. We wanted to put off the installation of the replacement refrigerator until we got back from this trip. Everything was on time, on schedule, went smoothly. They have been great.
All right, they got it out. Here's the new one. And here's the old one. A couple more hours, we're done.
Yeah, we glue the door back on to make sure it's water sealed up.
Oh, good, yeah.
But we're still a little concerned. We've got the new fridge now, but we're wondering if it's actually gonna hold up. You might be wondering, why would we be wondering if a brand new refrigerator is actually gonna hold up? Well, I'll tell you about that in just a second. But first, let me tell you how we survived without a working fridge. All of the refrigerator side of the old refrigerator completely went out. There was no air moving from the cold freezer into the refrigerator. So we basically turned this thing into a pantry on that old fridge. This side was actually kind of sort of working. The bottom shelves and the bottom drawers of the freezer were actually maintaining a freezing temperature. You go up a shelf or two and all of a sudden you got kind of in that refrigerator temperature range. The top shelf in the freezer was basically pretty much almost warm all the time. You could put butter in there and pull it out and spread it. No hard butter there. So we were managing this throughout the summer, and that's how we kept our food. But the real problem was, it was very inconsistent. We were unable to keep any kind of fresh fruits or vegetables at all. If we put them in the refrigerator temperature shelf, some days it was refrigerator temperature, other days it was freezing and our bag of spinach would be frozen and we had to throw it out. Or it would be too warm and it would get wilted and it would die right away and then we had to throw it out. The inconsistency was really hard to deal with, but we made it through. The other thing that we did before that trip was we made a ton of pre-cooked meats at home. We grilled a bunch of chicken breasts, we smoked a bunch of pork butts and shredded them, so we had ready-made meals for the trip. We knew we were going to be really busy and on the go, so we didn't want complicated meals. Well, they took up a big portion of the freezer, so we were rotating that stuff to make sure that it stayed frozen. And then when we were ready for, okay, what do you want for dinner tomorrow night? Let's pull out a package of our smoked shredded pork butt and we'll have some barbecue sandwiches. Fine, take it up, put it on this shelf that should be refrigerator temperature. Well, when it was inconsistent, here's what would happen. It would either be rock hard frozen still like 24 hours later, not even beginning to defrost, or it was too warm and it was almost like ready to serve, barely had to heat it at all in the microwave or on the Blackstone. So we were running into struggles like the entire time, just trying to manage the food and keep it safe and keep it like edible without throwing too much away. Traveling like this was exhausting, but it was our choice, and let me tell you why. We had bucket list reservations that we made far in advance, and we didn't want to lose those. We also really didn't want to deal with a warranty kind of thing mid-trip with unfamiliar dealers and locations. We were in areas of the country that we had never been before, and we were just not familiar with the areas at all.
We are lost.
The other thing was, if we needed to drop the rig off at a dealer and we couldn't stay in it, well, that meant we were going to need a hotel room. And you know, we travel with Max and Izzy. If we were traveling with 2 dogs, we probably could find a dog-friendly hotel or Airbnb or whatever. But for cats, that's a lot more challenging. Most hotels won't take cats, and a lot of Airbnbs won't either. And for all of those reasons, we just decided to tough it out and finish the trip. And we're actually glad we did it that way. We were still doing research, and we had found a lot of different RVers that were running into problems with their 12-volt refrigerators. The problem was a lot more common than we expected it to be. One RVer that we came across had his original fridge fail. He had it replaced with the same make and model, and that second one failed. At that point in time, he kind of said, I'm giving up on 12-volt fridges. I'm not going for a third time around. It's too chaotic, it's too stressful, and I just want something that's more reliable. He replaced his 12-volt fridge with a residential fridge, and he said that he hasn't had any problems since. All of that made us begin to wonder, if we get a replacement fridge, is that really going to be the end of our chaos? So I'm going to ask you, drop a comment below. I'm really curious to know, what is the worst thing that you've ever had to live without while you were RVing? So here it is, our brand new refrigerator. We're gonna begin to take off all of the protective covers and see what we've got inside. Got lots of beautiful, clean, needs to be filled refrigerator. Oh, look at that fresh fruits and vegetable zone. How exciting is that? So what do you think was the thing that we were missing the most when we were having this problem over this summer? Summertime, right? Summertime RVing, you're usually somewhere where it's kind of warm. What's the thing that's always on the dessert menu in the summertime? Pete loves, and I really love, ice cream. I'm feeling the possibility for ice cream in our future again. So exciting. Is this automatically gonna shut itself off? I think that's a safety thing. Lights just went out. Or we have another problem. I'm guessing it's a safety thing, and I had the doors open too long and it was getting ready to shut itself off. It didn't though, so we're still here and lights are still on. And depending on if you're doing a lot of boondocking and a lot of bumpy roads, you might be coming across places when your fridge doors actually fly open. So we've got these little things here, which hold the door in place when we're moving, so it can't come open. If it does come open, it's not gonna fly open. Lippert really came through for us. We're hoping this is the end of the chaos, but we have to admit that only time will tell. If you missed the video where all of this started, I will leave a link in the description below. If you want to see more about the gear that we have tested that usually makes RV life a lot easier, sometimes a little chaotic, either way, we give honest reviews. I'll leave a link for an entire playlist in the description below, and I'll see you over there.